For this week's podcast on English.com, we have the third in our series of Life Before the Internet. And for this week, we're talking about correspondence.
Yes, letters. Richard, can you remember, when was the last time you wrote a letter?
I can't remember exactly, but I think it must have been writing to my mum.
Right.
When we lived in Jordan, which was over 12 years ago. I used to write to her regularly.
Now, you had those special airmail letters.
Yes, it was just a piece of paper which was also the envelope, and it also included the stamp.
It was very lightweight, wasn't it?
It was very light. It was all in one. You just had to fold it up and pop it in the mailbox, and that was it.
I don't even know if they have those anymore.
I'd be surprised.
Now, you mentioned the fact that there was no stamp, or the stamp was included, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because that's a big difference, isn't it, nowadays?
Yeah, you don't buy stamps, do you? Even if you have anything to send, you just go to the post office. Because I remember as a small boy, I loved collecting stamps from everywhere. But no longer. So what about you then, Jackie?
Well, what I do remember doing is sending regularly postcards to my parents.
Oh, yes.
When we were on holiday, or of course just the different places that we were working in.
Definitely. I think you can still buy postcards, can't you?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because postcards are still for sale. We see them. But I don't send postcards anymore because everything has changed. We use Facebook with an up-to-date regular account of what we're doing on our holiday.
Yes, exactly.
It's interesting because I don't write to my father at all anymore, letters or postcards. We communicate completely with video calls.
But you do send them a Christmas card, though.
Yes. Now, I do remember when I moved to live and work in Africa, which was for 5 years, I only wrote to my parents and a very few close friends, maybe 5 or 6 people.
So do you think then you lost contact with people then because correspondence was so time-consuming?
I think so, but I think it's because I only wrote to the people who were really important to me. So I think that nowadays I correspond with people more regularly.
Yes, it's much easier as well. And there's more people you correspond with.
Also with people who in the past, perhaps they wouldn't be in my address book.
I'm in correspondence now, actually, with people I knew at primary school.
Right.
And I haven't seen them almost since then, 40 plus years ago.
So it's completely different, Richard, now, isn't it, from when we were at school, when we were younger. Do you think it's all for the better now?
Yes, definitely, I think so. Because we live fairly separate from a lot of our friends here, and it's so easy to keep in contact with everybody.
Yes, I think I agree, Richard. It's really nice, isn't it, being in touch with friends from the past and keeping in everyday contact with our families. But I do wonder whether the amount of time we spend on social media is probably more than the letter writing we did in the past.
Idioms and expressions. Pop it in the mailbox. Meaning, to quickly put something in the mailbox. Example, once I finished writing the letter, I just popped it in the mailbox and waited for a response. Lost contact. Meaning, to stop communicating with someone. Example, after moving to a new city, I lost contact with most of my old friends. Up to date. Meaning, to be current or updated with the latest information. Example, I like to keep my social media accounts up to date with everything I do on vacation. Time-consuming. Meaning, something that takes a lot of time. Example, writing letters was so time-consuming, it's no wonder people switched to emails. All in one. Meaning, refers to something that combines multiple functions or elements. Example, the airmail letter was great because it was an all-in-one solution, letter, envelope, and stamp.